It stinks, actually. I know, but it smells. I don't know. The styrofoam smells. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's Carly's birthday, October.
You got nothing? Hello? Now we got it? Is it good? I'm going to move it around now. Is it still good? Is it good? Is it still good? Are we good? Can you still hear me? I'm talking over here. I'm talking over there. Got me? Okay, now watch. I'm going to put it in the holster. You still got it? Are we good? Okay. Explain that.
I don't want to break the camera. Yeah. I'm not singing no music.
Hi, today I'll be singing If I Rebel from the musical Guys and Dolls written by Frank Lesser. Ask me how do I feel? Ask me now that we're cozy and clingy. Well, sir, all I can say is if I were a bell, I'd be ringing. From the moment we kissed tonight, that's the way I've just got to behave. Boy, if I were a lamp, I'd light, and if I were a bell, I'd wave. Ask me how do I feel, little me with my quiet upbringing. Well, sir, all I can say is if I were a gate, I'd be swinging, and if I were a watch, I'd start popping my springs, and if I were a bell, I'd go ding dong, ding dong, ding. Ask me how do I feel from this chemistry lesson I'm learning. Well, sir, all I can say is if I were a bridge, I'd be burning. Ask me how to describe this whole beautiful thing. Boy, if I were a bell, I'd go ding dong, ding dong, ding.
My name is Olivia Halmer, and I'm a sophomore in Boyertown. Thank you for inviting me to be a part of this fundraiser, and I hope you enjoy Reflection. Look at me, I may never pass for a perfect bride or a perfect daughter. Can it be? I'm not meant to play this part. Now I see that if I were truly to be myself, I would break my family's heart. Who is that girl I see staring straight back at me? Why is my reflection someone I don't know? Somehow I cannot
Hi, I'm Carrie Pitcock Lester at First Presbyterian Church. I'm co-pastor.
And I'm Carter Lester, also co-pastor.
We are delighted to answer the question why we and our congregation support the work of Cluster. In fact, the congregation supported the work of Cluster long before we got here. So in some ways, we are just following their lead. It's a very good lead. I think we support the work of the Cluster because it's a very important arm of our church's ministry. It helps us live out Jesus' command to love our neighbor as ourselves. If I were hungry, I would hope that somebody would give me food. If I were without a home, I would hope that someone would help me find one. If I were cold, I would hope that somebody would help clothe me or give me heat. And if I were caught in the cycle of poverty, I would hope that someone would help me break out of it. And the Cluster's work does all that.
We've been grateful to be a partner, providing community meals. We serve every Thursday. And we've also found it to be a privilege to contribute to the Cluster each year, not only for the ongoing ministry needs as it meets and serves those who are in need, but also we were very grateful to have the opportunity to contribute to the new building, because it had been a long time vision, one of our church members, for the Cluster to move from its old place to its current place on Franklin, and that was a wonderful day. And we've also been very grateful for how the Cluster has never closed this year throughout it all, and has labored so extensively to care for people in this time when so many people need help.
So, thank you, Cluster, for your partnership, and we pray for your ongoing work.
Amen.
I'm ready whenever you are. I'm Joe Cerisi. It's a little different this year, but I want to welcome you to the 9th annual You've Got to Have Heart fundraiser here at the Sunnybrook Ballroom and the Sunnybrook Drive-In. This year's a little different, like 2020 is for all of us, so you're going to see a little bit different model than all of us in the room together, but we're all here with you. This year we're excited to be hosting this event with many friends throughout the area who are watching online. We're also excited that we're hosting this with the Amazing Rays. So tonight's contributions for You've Gotta Have Heart will also be for the Amazing Rays and the Pottstown Cluster of Religious Communities. This is a great night. A great challenge will happen tonight. But in order for all of you to participate, we've got to ask you to do one thing. We've got to ask you to text us. Text Have Heart at 44321 or visit pottstowncluster.org/donate. Now tonight is October 15th. We're live broadcasting tonight, but we'll also be broadcasting again later in the month, and you can keep texting and keep donating all the way through the process. I have a question for all of you who are watching us tonight. Why do you have heart for the Pottstown Cluster of Religious Communities? We want to hear from you. We want you to text us. We also want you to put it on the Facebook Live video that we're feeding through. And we're going to have a special guest. Our board member, Matt Green, will be out in the parking lot where all of our people are tonight because we're social distancing to ask you for your comments and your questions. So with that, I'd like to get us started tonight. We're going to head outside to meet our president, President Roberta Bodie, and the mayor of Pottstown, Stephanie Hendricks. Take it away.
Hello, good evening. I'm so glad to see you all here. My name is Mark Striak. I have the privilege of being the sole pastor at Brownbacks United Church of Christ, and we have a pretty good working relationship here with the Pottstown Cluster and have learned much about their work over the years. But just a little bit here about Brownbacks history. We were founded in 1743, and in 2018 we celebrated 275 years of a faith community staying together and working through any and all problems. And I believe that gives us a lot of hope here for the future. And the missions that this congregation joins in on throughout the year is the local Spring City Food Pantry, of course the Pottstown Cluster of Religious Communities, Good Samaritan Services, Bethany's Children's Home, and many others that come up throughout the year who are in need. And one of the great things to know is our relationship with the cluster has been around since it began, and we've attended, along with some lay folks, the You Gotta Have Heart, their fall fundraisers, and it's always been a wonderful time, and I've learned quite a lot. So I hope you also learn quite a lot and enjoy your company, and I'll see you around town.
My name is Roberta Bodie, and I am the president of the board for the Pottstown Cluster. It is my honor to welcome you all here to this exciting new virtual event. This year's annual event will feature a drive-in movie and online live streaming choices for our supporters so they can see what the cluster has been doing. And also you're going to get a chance to hear from neighbors in our community who have been helped by the Pottstown Cluster. We're very excited to be part of this innovative virtual event. We're looking forward to it, and I hope you are too. Yes, this event is definitely virtual. However, the need is very real. I've been asked several times by several people, with your busy schedule, why do you feel the magnet to the cluster? Why do you feel drawn to spending and helping the cluster? And the answer is very simple. As a mother of many children and a grandmother of many more children, it would be absolutely unthinkable for me to have to put any of these children to bed hungry, to look into their eyes and to hear their cries of suffering and know that they are hungry and I can't do anything about it. Even worse are the heads of the household who have the anxiety and the fear that perhaps tomorrow they're going to be evicted from their apartments or their homes due to the COVID virus. A lot of people are experiencing this. Can you imagine that horrible anxiety that everyone must be feeling? All of us have mantras and quotations and sayings that we keep close to us, that we try to live by every day. Mine is a poem it's a peace poem by St. Francis of Assisi, and it begins, and you all are very familiar with it, "Make me an instrument of thy peace." We are all instruments of God, and we all should be instruments for love and compassion and peace. I believe sincerely that this is our mission, all of us, to be instruments of God. So my answer is very simple, and that is why I very happily and am very honored to be the president of the board for the Pottstown Cluster. The problems the cluster faces on a daily basis, food insecurity, homelessness, the need for services, and the need for spiritual consolation, these are huge. I'd like to share a few numbers with you now, and every time in a presentation when people start shooting numbers at you, I usually see a glaze in everyone's eyes, but these numbers are real numbers, and when you hear these numbers, I want you to really take it into your heart that these numbers, each number means a person. Did you know, can you imagine that 22% of the population of Pottstown live below the poverty level? And that's versus 13.1% who live below the poverty level as a national average. That is huge. And do you realize there are 80,000 people in Montgomery County, 80,000, who will be suffering food insecurity? And these are the people who have the choices of, do I buy medication or do I eat? Do I heat my apartment or do I eat? Do I buy a bus ticket to Norristown so I can apply for a job, or do I eat lunch? These are very normal questions that they ask themselves each and every day. A few other numbers. Due to the COVID virus, 47,000 people in Montgomery County will run the risk of being evicted from their homes by the end of December. This evening, you're going to be hearing from some of the neighbors in the community. You're going to hear how the cluster has impacted their lives. You're also going to be hearing how the Pottstown cluster has provided food security and rent and utility assistance to households that have been severely impacted by COVID. This tonight is our most critical fundraising activity of the year. We need your support. We need you to be instruments of love and compassion to those who are most vulnerable among us. Your support allows us to carry out the mission of the cluster. It allows us to serve our community and allows us to improve the individual stability and transform lives. Please help us. It has been an honor to speak to you tonight, and I hope when the time comes for donation, you will open your hearts and become an instrument of love and compassion. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Henrik, Mayor of Pottstown. Good evening and welcome to the Pottstown Cluster's annual fundraising event. I'm grateful that you all are here, and I'm grateful that the cluster is here as well. I'm sorry I can only be with you virtually, but from what I can see from here, you all look fabulous this evening. And I am grateful that you didn't ask me to sing a duet with Cerisi. So thank you. I only have to talk to you briefly here. So I just want to say thanks for coming out tonight and celebrating with us. You know, this is an awesome event every year. 2020 has definitely rocked our community to the core, and we've been challenged in every way imaginable. Our community has lost their security in their food, their housing, and their shelter, and the amount of people that have lost this security has been staggering. I am just grateful to the cluster and the cluster's partners for being able to support our community so that we are still standing and haven't fallen. It is essential to have the cluster in Pottstown and provide these services to our community. Last year I spoke about, think about what it would be like to live in a house not being able to turn on the Eagles game or have internet. This year, more than ever, it is extremely important that you help support our community and help support the cluster. And so, because I know you all love me, and I know you all love Pottstown, I'd like you all to get out your checkbooks. Okay, so get out your checkbooks, please. Thank you. I'll start you off. I would like to pledge $500 to sponsor this event. The cluster is an integral part of our community, and I don't honestly know where we would be without the cluster. And so I'm grateful to you all. I'm grateful to the donors and the sponsors, and I want you all to have a wonderful evening tonight. Drink as much as you can, and then get out your checkbooks at the end of the evening and remember what I said. So thank you, have a wonderful evening, and I hope to see you soon.
Thank you so much, Roberta and Stephanie, for that message. Please continue to text us. You have text Have Heart to 44321. Now, I want to introduce you to a wonderful woman who has put this together, who's been the executive in charge of this for a long time, my friend and our community person, Barbara William. Barbara, I'm going to move away from the podium to give it to you so we can social distance.
Thank you, Joe. Hi, everyone. Good evening. It's 2020. Taking off my mask so that you can hear me because I really want you to hear how grateful I am that you are all paying attention and have either come out and are joining us in the parking lot or are actually listening to us online. 2020 has certainly been a challenge for everyone, and we have certainly seen the best of this community in the support that you have continued to provide to us to be able to help us to do the work that we do. So I'm so grateful to your support and for the reality that the work that we do is able to continue to help so many people in need at this really difficult time. And that is really all because of you. So we're very grateful for that. I do want to tell you on a positive note, one of the very interesting things that's happened for us in 2020, many of you have been very supportive to us in our building renovation project at 61 North Franklin that has taken a long time to finish. But shockingly, in the middle of the pandemic, yesterday, we were finally able to get full occupancy of that building. So there are definitely good things that are happening, and we're certainly moving forward. Thank you to everybody who's come out. Thank you to the volunteers. I do want to especially thank Amanda Hoffman and Jackie Good, who are members of our development team who put this evening together. We wouldn't be here without their hard work. And at this point, I do want to turn back to the reason that we're here, and that is in celebrating all of you who have provided tremendous support to us, and that includes our group of folks who serve in our community meals program. We serve at 5 different churches throughout the week and have a multitude of volunteers who help us, and here's a video that's going to highlight some of the work that happens there. Thank you very much and enjoy your evening.
Almost 80,000 residents in Montgomery County worry about when they will get their next meal, and many find themselves in a cycle of no-win decisions. Do I buy food or medicine? Heat or eat? Pay for lunch or pay for a bus pass? Our Community Meals program has been offering meals to residents of the Pottstown area for over 50 years. Last year, 14,091 community plates were served through community meals.
My name is Father Joshua Kaler. I'm the rector here of Christ Episcopal Church, and I'm also a board member of the Pottstown Cluster of Religious Communities. Today we've been doing a community meal, which is something we've done here at Christ Church for almost 4 decades, serving people in the community with the support of the cluster. It's a great way for us to share in and make real what we say we believe as Christians. We pray every day that God will give us our daily bread. It's a way for us to share in that work, to share in the work of God realizing daily bread for our neighbors and our friends, and for us to have a part in that effort. So I'm always grateful on days when we have friends come out, members of the community, members of the cluster board today serving, and members of this parish. It's a great way to be together realizing this good work of God.
The Community Meals program is a wonderful program. It provides either a lunch or a dinner every day throughout the week for people who are needy, people who are lonely, people who need a meal for themselves and their families. It's been going on for earlier than I can remember. It's 50 years. 50 years.
50 years.
Before the pandemic, we used to provide hot meals. And because of the pandemic, we're now doing bagged lunches. But we make sure that no person gets turned away or that isn't allowed to have however much food they would like to have.
The one week, there was a gentleman that came up. I had never seen him before, but Janet knew who he was. But he came up to the door and he said, "Oh," he said, "thank God you're here." And he was teary-eyed. He was just so grateful. He said, "I don't know what I would do without you." And that, I mean, it put tears in my eyes. And that's just an example of one person who is so grateful, but they're all very grateful. Then there are those who say, "God bless you, God bless you," and they can't thank us enough. And I said, we don't need your thanks. This is what we do.
Hi, my name is Barb Cooper. I am the Community Meal Coordinator for Trinity Reformed United Church of Christ. I was the recipient of the Helping Hands Heart Award last year. I wrote something from the heart that describes what the Community Meal Program means to me. It is because of the dedication of the many volunteers that come from 9 churches, a Boy Scout troop, a few families, a local business, and the Pottstown Police Department, our Tuesday night community meal program would not run as well as it does. The relationships that are built through the meal are so important to me. I love talking to our guests and hearing what is happening in their lives that day, whether it be celebrating their joys or offering a shoulder to cry on.
Everyone in need of a meal is welcome to attend, because when people are healthy and fed, our community flourishes.
You know, with this pandemic and everything, a lot of us have lost their jobs. I know I have lost my job. You know, my main thing is to pay my rent. So any time they can fill us in with a meal is definitely a plus. There's a lot of people, like I say, they pay their rent, and they really don't have much left after that. So it's a big help for people. They give you a meal almost 7 days a week here in Pottstown.
I have my grandchildren a lot, and it really helps to be able to come down here, and Pottstown Cluster also. It's a big help with, you know, feeding them, and I think it's a great thing that they do. I mean, they reach out to people, and they're really a big help. I'm not really good with words.
These people are extraordinary that have stepped forward during this time to feed the children. The people walking down the street sometimes, they go over to the cooler right up on High Street. It's just that important. You're hot, you know, people are dealing with the heat, and then you have somebody that's giving you water. Somebody's giving you juice. Somebody's giving you a meal during you're hungry at lunch. I mean, around that time, people get really hungry. They have nowhere to get anything to eat. They have nothing to give their children. So to be able to come down here and get that kind of service is something that's an extraordinary thing. And it's hard to explain. Agape, whatever they call it, or something. Somebody's giving something without any expectation of return. Just doing it for the kindness of their heart. I think these things are important for the community and the world to see how we work together right here in Pottstown to help each other.
I started coming down here, and this was great for me to help with taking care of my grandkids. Now, this man here, he's a lot more eloquent speaking than I am, you know.
Mm-hmm.
He can say what he's thinking. It comes across better.
Yeah.
But you know, a lot of times people are doing this job and they don't even get a thank you. And I think they're doing a fantastic job here and at the cluster.
I think it's extraordinary what I've seen in Pottstown as a result of helping the hungry and poor, right along the street.
I think this lady and the other lady, they deserve to be on camera.
They sure do.
And all the people that work down the clusters, they deserve it.
Yeah, they're the ones that's supposed to be on camera. After hearing us, I think maybe they'll get some attention, huh? What you think?
Maybe after hearing you.
5 local worship centers open their doors on separate weekdays to serve meals to those in need. Christ Episcopal Church on High Street, the Salvation Army on King Street, Emmanuel Lutheran Church on Hanover Street, Trinity Reformed United Church of Christ on Hanover Street, First Presbyterian Church on Evans Street. Without the support and dedication from these worship centers and volunteers, our community meals program would not be possible. Their work and partnership are encouraging positive change in the lives of our local neighbors in need, and for that, we are truly grateful.
What a great video, what an inspiration. How a community can come together even in the hardest times and do all that they're doing. Wow, that was really great. Now we're going to cut back over to our Mayor of Pottstown over at Borough Hall. I'm going to turn it back over to Mayor Stephanie Hendricks.
I want you, no, I'm talking to you over there, please. Get out your checkbooks, your phones. Come on, sir. Sir, I see, yeah, thank you. All right, and get ready. We're going to be able to, you're going to write a check. You're going to text to donate. I'll start you off. Ma'am, I don't take that kind of payment, but let me start you off. $500, I pledge $500 to the cluster to sponsor this event. What are you donating to this evening? Make us proud, Pottstown. Thank you.
Hi everybody, my name is Kyle Denon, and I would like to extend a big thank you to all the volunteers and donors at the cluster. The work you're doing is incredibly impactful and appreciated by so many people in the community. I've been asked to record a couple of songs tonight because Beyonce had to cancel at the last minute, and obviously I'm the next closest thing. Anyway, thank you again, and I hope you enjoy them.
Your troubles, well, I got them too. There isn't anything I wouldn't do. We'll stick together, see it through. 'Cause you got a friend in me. Yeah, you got a friend in me. Now some of the folks might be a little smarter than I am, or bigger and stronger too. But maybe none of them is ever gonna love you the way I do. It's just me and you, boy. And as the years go by, our friendship will never die. You're gonna see it's our destiny. You got a friend in me. Yeah, you got a friend in me. Yeah, you got a friend
Hey, it's Matt Green. I'm one of the board members here at the Pottstown Cluster of Religious Communities. I'm also a local talk show host, Porchcast Pottstown. I'm the man on the street out here looking for somebody to interview, and look who I found. It's Deacon Dennis from Christ Episcopal Church, one of our community meal sites. So the question I have for you, Deacon Dennis, is why do you have heart for the Pottstown Cluster of Religious Communities?
Well, first off, I live in Pottstown.
That's a great reason.
And I heard a number just tonight that almost a quarter of the people who live in Pottstown are at or below poverty level. That means it's up to the other 3/4 of us to care for them. And what the cluster does so wonderfully well is coordinates all that effort. Community meals, you know, there's pantry groceries always available. There's housing help. When people are at that level, they're making choices that the rest of us don't have to. Do I get a meal? Do I buy groceries? Do I buy my medicine? Do I pay rent? But any help in any of those areas helps everything for those folks. And what I love about the cluster is they coordinate the effort, so there's one place a person can go, talk about the help they need, get the resource help, and get the stuff that they need.
That's a great answer. And you know, one of the neat things that I think that the cluster does that I wanted to give you credit for, because I've seen it in first hand. I've seen you do this at the community meal. People come in and sometimes they just need somebody to talk to. They need a little bit of direction. And you've provided that for the people that come in. So I just wanted to say thank you. I also wanted to take some time to kick it back over to the people inside at the Pottstown Cluster of Religious Communities Resource Center. We're going to be learning more about how the Pottstown Cluster impacts the neighborhood in that location.
Excellent.
So thanks for helping us out, Dennis. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, and thank you for what you do.
Thanks, sir.
Let's hear from some of our neighbors about how the Pottstown Cluster of Religious Communities is positively impacting their lives.
Danielle, how can I help you? Okay. Hi, how can I help you today?
I would like to know if you guys can help me with a package.
When my family is down and out, we come and I'm able to walk through the doors because clusters always have the doors open. And I come here and I ask them for a couple of things and they are always on time. They never turn you away. This is a good place to come. You're never out of food. They have a good heart.
At the Pottstown Cluster of Religious Communities, we do our work as a response to God's call to love one another and to put our faith into action. We firmly believe our community is strongest when the most vulnerable among us are treated with dignity in all circumstances. When we ensure individuals are fed, securely sheltered, and have access to educational resources, our community flourishes.
Yes, I enjoy coming here to Pottstown Cluster. When I'm low on food or just need a little simple something, I enjoy coming here. They never, like Tarika said, they never turn you away. They're a real great help, and they're just always here. You know, they help you out with everything you need. You're not homeless if you need something for your kid or a baby. You know, they're good. And the book bags, I love doing that every year because there's no way I could ever be able to afford a book bag and all the stuff that comes with it. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, help. you know, they help.
Oh, blessing. That's all I can say.
I had custody of a little boy. They helped me out with him because he wasn't even mine.
Oh, wow.
I had him for a little while, and then
they never turned you away.
Nope. Needed food for him. I needed clothes for him.
Soap.
Yeah. Like, yeah.
Laundry detergent.
Yeah, right. I was gonna say that.
They
I always checked it if they got laundry detergent because with men at home, please.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just thank them very much.
I go through a lot of laundry detergent, and I welcome Pottstown Cluster all the time. I say thank you, and I'm glad you know that they can help me out. I appreciate it very, very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, how can I help you today?
Hi, Danielle. You here to pick up groceries?
Oh, you're here for your food today? Yes. All right, I'll have Kelly out there help you out.
Hey, how are you?
Tammy, how are you?
Good.
Long time no see.
Yes, how's it going?
It's going good. It's going good. You at the Pottstown Cluster, isn't it wonderful?
Yes, we're here picking up some groceries to help us out this week.
I sure am. I sure am. They've always been there for me. I tell you, I can't think of any better place to go. I was homeless at one point, and they saved me, really, literally saved me. So then I've been coming ever since.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
With our little guy and all his doctor's appointments and everything, I've had to stay home and take care of him. So it's been a huge help with us and also helps us make sure they get a balanced meal,
Oh,
too.
absolutely. Sure, yeah. I love it.
The Pottstown Cluster means to me an opportunity to be able not only to see other people and get the help that we need for our family to make sure we can have balanced meals and nutrition. They have been a huge help with our family and helping us be able to make sure we can not have to make that choice between paying for the medications or providing the meal for our family at the end of the day. They have been a huge help with a variety of services. They also helped us when it was cold and we needed some extra heating oil. So it has been a huge part of our life, and just to come in the door and see a friendly face just makes the day so much better.
And the Pottstown Cluster has always been there for me and my family, and we've always had nutritious food, like Tammy said, and I know they've helped many people in the community, and I think it's just a blessing to have Pottstown Clusters here in Pottstown.
Last year, the Pottstown Cluster of Religious Communities positively impacted the lives of 25,623 people and provided services to 1,542 unduplicated households. It is the kind acts and offerings of our community that allow us to carry out our mission, serve our community, and improve individuals' overall stability. Together, our collective action positively transforms lives in the greater Pottstown area by providing food security, housing stability, and supportive services and education to our neighbors in need.
So now it's time for some of the questions that you sent in. Now please continue to send us questions via the live remote on Facebook. We want to get to all of your questions and answer them. First questions, we're going to cut over to Vicki Bumstead, who is the Director of Food Services at the Pottstown Cluster Religious Communities. And she'll be asked a question from one of our board members, Rich Newell.
Hi, Vicki. One of the questions from our supporter, they'd like to know, during the initial crush of the pandemic, and really all the way up to today, the Pottstown Cluster Religious Communities was able to keep distributing food to people in need and maintain operations. That had to be challenging due to the logistics. How did the cluster do that?
Well, Rich, we are a well-organized, well-oiled organization. We have policies, we have procedures, we have protocol, we have plans for evacuation. So we really know we're very organized. The pandemic, that was all new. We had no policies. We did not know what we were doing. We were working from a day-to-day process, putting policies, working on the fly, just trying to figure out exactly what to do and how we were going to go about that. We had two priorities, keeping our staff, families, and volunteers safe, and we needed to continue to stay open and provide services. So a lot of the community was doing the exact same thing. So we weren't the only ones out there struggling. People, businesses had to make their changes. So I noticed that there were some restaurants, for example, in Pottstown, instead of closing completely, they were actually preparing meals and distributing into the community. We had a lot of pop-up pantries, as they say. The community was overwhelming. They were amazing. The pop-up pantries, organizations, worship centers would just gather together, create a drive, and just have pantries and provide food and services. We had a worship center up the road from us that was, they actually prepared over 250 meals a day. So it was difficult navigating the system and trying to find out what was going on in a community and where we should be to provide our services. So we ended up, Pottstown Cluster, what we did is we collaborated with the Pottstown School District. Once they closed and the kids were home, they were actually providing lunches and breakfast once a week to the families. So what we did is we packed up bags of food. We made sure that we provided all nutritional food, produce. We had dairy, milk, cheese, whatever we got, we were able to pack up and bring over to the Pottstown schools and distribute that way. So it was a lot of navigation. It was a lot of trying to figure out what to do. I would say that we have strong leaders, and I think that was the most successful portion. We had board members, staff, and our director who really knew exactly what to do and helped us out.
Well, you should be very proud of the difference that you made. Great job.
Thank you.
That was great. Thank you, Vicki and Rich. Now remember, we're here tonight for donations to help all these great programs. So please continue to text us. Have Heart at 44321. It's very important to keep these programs going and make sure we have everything we need. I know it's been a hard time for our communities, and this is wonderful to see all the support that we have out here. Now we have two more people coming up right now. We're going to ask some questions. Our next question will be Jen Brown, who's the Director of Support Services at the Pottstown Cluster of Religious Communities. And she'll be asked a question for the board member and the Development Chair, volunteer Jill Denon.
Estimated that 47,000 people in Montgomery County are at risk for eviction, foreclosure, and homelessness by the year's end. What is the Pottstown Cluster of Religious Communities doing to help those people in our community?
Okay, thank you. So the Pottstown Cluster is doing actually a lot in terms of helping to support people who are facing eviction. One of our newest programs that we're working on is called Emergency Rent and Utility Coalition. It stands for ERIC is the short word of what we call it, and we're assisting families with up to $1,500 a month for rent up to 6 months. So that's approximately about $9,000. Of course, this has to be back rent that they were unable to pay due to COVID-related reasons. And we're working with landlords to help make them whole too, because while we know our tenants are experiencing and struggling with loss of work, children may be having to do virtual school, it's difficult for them to be earning an income possibly like they had been prior to COVID, but our landlords too also have bills to pay as well. So we're trying to work with both sides of the coin in terms of supporting and helping everybody feel and get back to a little bit more of a whole piece. It's been a great program so far. We've been extremely busy. We expect to be continuing to be extremely busy. Applications can be done online, and we have about three staff at the moment supporting that program.
That's wonderful, and that's why we continue to need help from everybody in the community to support the Pottstown Cluster. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right now we have a special performance by Sydney Kozik, who's going to sing the prayer. While she's singing, continue to text us, continue to send in your donations. Oh, you couldn't hear what I said? So I'll say it. I'll say it when it's done. Yeah.
watch us where we go and help us to be wise in times when we don't know. Let this be our prayer when we lose our way. Lead us to a place, guide us with your grace, to a place where we'll be safe. Oh, no more mondo senza benevolenza, oh mondo di sidi di speranza, oh no, cielo, sino di pace, di fraternità. We ask that life be kind and watch us from above. We hope each soul will find another soul to love. Let this be our prayer. Let this be our prayer, just like every child. Need to find a place, guide us with your grace, to a place where we'll be safe. Need to find a place, guide us with your grace, to a place where we'll be
Continue to text us. Have Heart at 44321. For all of you who are watching at home tonight, thank you so much. For those people who are here at drive-in, thank you for being here tonight. If you're watching this on replay, continue to text us. Continue to send a donation. Can you hear me? We're good. I'm going to turn it back over to Barb for closing comments.
Thank you, Joe, so much for taking time out of what's got to be a busy schedule for you these days. So appreciate your support to us. Thank you to everybody who's been out in the parking lot. We've had some challenges with the parking lot and the view out there, but we know that we've got some very loyal supporters out there, and so we apologize for the challenges out there, but we'll just continue to chalk it up to 2020. Thank you so much for your support and continuing to help us to meet the needs of folks in this community. We wish you a wonderful rest of your evening and a wonderful holiday season coming up. God bless.